Darlings, today I want to talk about how fighting the people-pleasing instinct can feel so hard and conflicted and just give you this constricted, icky, not great feeling. So I've been working on not people-pleasing, working on listening to myself and my instincts, even if people might say that they're wrong. And that can be challenging too. So my partner 5 is married, has his wife Ronnie. They live in a place where they have 30,000 square feet of gardens, and they do canning. They'll do pickles and salsa and stuff. So I asked, hey, do you want to help can? He really enjoys it. And I said, it depends on the circumstances. Because when I lived with him and Ronnie for about 5 months, I was in a really dark place. I hated who I was actively suicidal, and they suffered and had a lot of trauma as well. And when I'm around 5, I feel very loved. I feel very happy. I really enjoy it. If I'm around Ronnie, if I'm interacting with her, a lot of those old feelings come back up. And I start to feel myself sink. I start to feel more self-doubt. I start to not like myself very much. And part of the reason I was actively suicidal was I could sense that I was hurting her, and I didn't want to do that. I was thinking, oh, what do? I could just not be around anymore, which is not very rational. I understand that. But at the time, that was part of the thinking. So I've distanced myself some. I've reduced the amount of contact because I don't feel great. And it's hard because there's conflicting energy. She really wants to try and be gracious and all of this, but I still feel this anger and frustration as well. It's this whole mixed bag, and it feels weird. And she is more than willing to work with me and to build a friendship, but I've not wanted to. And for me, that feels hard because I used to want to reconcile with anyone that would be willing to do that with me. And I've gotten to a point where if something feels icky and not great, I don't want to. I've had that happen with one person where I was thinking, everything inside of me is giving red flags, is saying, hey, danger. This isn't a good situation. And so I've listened to that and been like, I'm not going to engage if there are icky feelings, which goes against part of who I am. That part that says, hey, no matter what, give people a benefit of the doubt, be around people, like work things out, love people. I think you can still love people, but from further away. And the thing that's been tricky is that 5 is the absolute happiest when the 3 of us are all getting along. Because here are 2 people he loves, and if they're friends and they're close and we're all together, he's super happy. And I want that for him, but not at the expense of myself. Not to go from having confidence, feeling good about myself, listening to myself, being full of everything, and then to go into feeling a lot of self-doubt, feeling constricted, feeling like, oh no, like I'm an awful person, or feeling, just really icky. I don't like it. And so, when he asked about the canning thing, I said it depends on the circumstances. Because if it was the 3 of us for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours together, my whole body is an absolute no to that. Every single bit of me says, nope, hell no. And I realize that makes me seem really obstinate. That makes me seem really stubborn. That makes me seem like an ultimate dickbag. Where she is saying, hey, it's hard for me too, but I'm willing to work through this. You have to work through the icky stuff to get on the other side. And still, I don't want to. And I feel like that makes me a bad person, but at the same time, I know I have to listen to my body. And when I brought up to him the feelings of how I don't like how I feel around her, and I feel kind of this conflicting energy, or I feel like she has a lot of negative feelings towards me. He said, oh, she says you're projecting. And I read him she had written up her perspective of everything that happened. I'm like, she blames me for her family, like, disowning her. And, she went through torture because of me. She saw depression seeping over the children. She felt like she had to protect everyone from my emotions, that I wanted every weekend to do stuff with him. And it wasn't every weekend. But yeah, I read through everything, and I'm like, this is how she feels about me. And he said, that was just her purging. She's good now. You don't go through feeling all that stuff and immediately get rid of it. So it was really hard to stand up for myself, because again, it was hearing these things of, well, she's willing to. So there's that unspoken thing of, why aren't you? And you're just projecting. And I don't think so. And no, that's all in the past. No, it's not. So, it's so hard. It's so hard. But I did stand up for myself. And I said, no, I can't spend a ton of time with her, especially if it's the three of us. If her partner Patrick is up, it's the four of us, it's easier. I really like Patrick. He's funny and lightens the mood, and she's super connected to him, and so I think there's that pillar point for her that makes it more comfortable as well. So yeah, it's still hard. It's still really hard, and I encounter that in different business things. And I closed one business, or I'm kind of closing it. I retired 95% of the services that I did, and I would have a client pretty much every single time I came by for the last week that would say, oh, what am I going to do without you? I'm going to miss you so much. This is going to be so hard. And I'd be like, okay, sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, so sorry. But again, weird conflicting feelings of like, I can't go through something I don't want to do just for you when you can have anybody else do this service for you. But it's hard. But I feel like it's got to get better over time. I think this first step is, I don't know, maybe the first step is awareness. I feel like the second step maybe is doing it, even though it feels really, really uncomfortable. So hopefully the third step is to be able to do it like a boss. Be like, no! And to have no confliction, is that a word? Conflicted feelings about it. To be able to say no and just scurry along joyfully, tiptoe through the tulips and not think, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm done now, bye.